Stand by for Titanfall.
So the Titanfall 2 tech test has arrived, and today we're going to jump in and take a look at the games. Of course, Titanfall is a first-person shooter and mech game, and it's known for some pretty solid movement and wall running mechanics, as well as for being a fairly balanced game as well. And from my experience so far, they're totally delivering that Titanfall experience again with Titanfall 2. The movement modes and wall running are pretty well designed. You've got some really nice pilot features such as grapples, which are pretty cool in this game, and they're also adding new Titans and features to the Titans. In the tech test you can try the Ion and the Scorch Titans, which are based from the original Atlas and Ogre Titans if you played Titanfall 1. And the Scorch is a solar Titan with some pretty cool moves, and the Ion, which is actually my favourite, has this intense laser beam overcharge thing which just destroys other Titans. There are way more abilities for Titans and pilots in this game, and also you have more weapon customizations with options like shoot while sprinting and quick reload for weapons, as well as kind of like, you know, quick ready and things like that, which is really cool. So they're fleshing out the combat and customization options quite a lot. But how does it play? Well, it's been a lot of fun for me so far. We have 3 modes right now in the tech test. Pilot Hunter, which is pretty much just 8v8, no Titans, just pilots. And then we've got Amped Hardpoint, which is like control the zones type of thing. And we also have Bounty Hunter, where you have AI grunts. And you score cash by killing AIs and other pilots. And then you have to bank that cash to actually score. And if you die, you'll lose some of that cash. And if you do particularly well, you can get a bounty on your head where enemy players can score a premium for taking you down, which is pretty damn cool. And I've had a lot of fun with these modes. They're a bit more fleshed out than the original game. In terms of Titans, you won't be having your Titan dropping quite as much this time around. Scoring kills and completing objectives is pretty much the fastest way to earn a Titan, and they've also increased cooldowns for things like dashes and other things like that on the actual Titan. So they're maybe just trying to kind of reduce the pace a little bit. And I remember just pub stomping back in Titanfall 1 with a Strider and Smoke, just really fast moving Titan. You could have a lot of fun, but I do think they're trying to kind of avoid the game being too pub stompy this time around. They are focusing on a sort of skill-based matchmaking connection as well, which will be interesting to see how that turns out. But I think that the potential is that they could get it right, because they're very good at balance in my experience, Respawn. But on that note, the time to kill has been increased ever so slightly, which is nice, so it takes a little bit longer. The primary engagements feel pretty good in the game. They've also knocked off some of the range and stability of weapons compared to Titanfall 1, so you've got kind of more choice and options. Overall, the gameplay does feel really great, and it's always been one of the strong things about the Titanfall, and it absolutely feels like Titanfall as well, which is pretty important. If you haven't played Titanfall before and you love FPS games, I seriously recommend that you can go try it out. It can be really, really addictive, and you've got some of the most action-packed gameplay with really tight, well-designed mechanics. Respawn have kind of seemed to focus on having fewer options, fewer weapons and modifications in the name of balance, but in Titanfall 2 they're kind of expanding on the core elements that worked with the first game. And there are some balance issues right now, but they're pretty minor. The matchmaking hasn't been perfect, you know, on all occasions. Sometimes I've ended up in games which are like 5-on-2, which are probably just people leaving the games. Maybe they're people, you know, who don't play FPS games and are playing the test and find it frustrating. I don't know. It's a little bit hard to tell, but there's a lot of data that they'll get from this test, which is really good, because obviously there's still time to make a lot of balance changes, make a lot of additions to the game, which is pretty cool. But another thing I wanted to talk about is the kind of content, because in Titanfall 1, you know, it was a really fun game, and it's one of those games that if you were good at it and you enjoyed the gameplay, that's kind of what kept you going most of the time. Hopefully they can keep the community engaged with new content. The DLC for Titanfall 2 is going to be free, which is pretty epic, and of course there's going to be an actual single player campaign for Titanfall 2 this time around, which does look really promising. So overall, if you enjoyed the first Titanfall game, I don't really see any reason that Titanfall 2 can't top it so far. And again, if you want to try the tech test out, you can play this weekend, you can also play next weekend, and I really recommend you check it out either way, because, you know, it's one of those games, until you play it, you don't really know what it's about, and for me it's just a lot of fun. It's very fast paced. Yeah, it's an awesome game, and I'm glad that Titanfall 2 is finally going to be coming out soon. So that's my thoughts, guys. I've been playing a ton. I can't wait to see the game at launch. There's plenty more I could talk about. This is just a quick kind of look at the game. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Will you be picking this up? Have you played the tech test? Any of that stuff? If you did enjoy the video though, a like is always appreciated. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit subscribe for a lot more gaming content. But for now, you guys have an awesome day.